Hold on, you won't believe what happened on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta with Scrappy. The star lost it all, and guess what? It cost him everything. A heated argument with Khaotic went too far, and the producer abruptly removed him from the show due to the zero-tolerance policy. But the real question is, was this a real incident, or was it just another twisted reality show moment? Let's all find out what actually happened.
Watch it, cuz I'll be like, oh.
Okay, so wait.
You know what your problem is? I ain't got no problem.
Nothing could have foreseen the day when Scrappy's own actions would cause this fall from grace. But for years, fans watched Lil Scrappy's rocky journey unfold on TV with his ups and downs with his family ties and profession. Renowned for his fiery temper and devotion to his circle, Scrappy has long been a mainstay of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It all started during a particularly heated argument with a disorganized cast member who was renowned for his audacious manner and propensity to stir. Anarchy Pat Khaotic, a fellow cast member, has never shied away from expressing his ideas, but when a small disagreement turned into a full-fledged conflict, things went completely out of control. Words were spoken, insults were thrown, and the argument swiftly turned into a full-fledged brawl. Known for having a short fuse, Scrappy quickly reached his breaking point. In a startling outburst of passion, Scrappy promised chaos in a way that was not only confrontational but downright dangerous. His threatening tone and scathing remarks left no space for inaccuracy behind the cameras. Everyone in attendance froze in shock that this wasn't simply another argument for the cameras, and tension spilled over. Although reality TV feeds on drama, even the tumultuous world of Love and Hip Hop has its limitations, and the producers, astonished by what they saw, had no choice but to act once Scrappy had crossed the line. When their zero-tolerance policy for violence and threats went into effect, Scrappy's actions quickly sealed his doom, leaving one of the French's most famous stars without a job. The decision was made after carefully weighing the impact on the show's reputation and the safety of its cast and crew. When the news broke, fans were divided, with some angry at Scrappy for letting his temper get the better of him. Swift Scrappy, who had been a part of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta since its inception, saw his entire career put at risk. The platform had been crucial in showcasing his music, personal life, and complex family dynamics, now all at home in the balance due to one reckless moment. More than just losing screen time, the firing was a harsh lesson for Scrappy about the cost of unbridled rage. In the days after his dismissal, Scrappy remained silent, recognizing the reality of his actions. His public persona had always been one of confidence, but behind closed doors, the fault was undeniable. He had not only damaged his image, but had also put his career in jeopardy. Others were equally upset at the show for acting so quickly, calling it a harsh overreaction. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but the lesson was evident. The same fiery temper that had once fueled his success was now standing in the way of his future. Losing his spot on Love and Hip Hop, the show continued as usual, seemingly unaffected by the drama, even though the tension between them persisted. Scrappy wasn't the center of attention for the first time in years. The pivotal moment that sprang from anger and regret was Atlanta.
I probably went too hard or something, took something the wrong way or something like that, you know? So I want to say, I'm sorry to Khaotic.
We're getting somewhere.
Cause I can give a Cause let me tell you something. When motherfuckers over me, and he feel like I'm not a good person, I feel the same way he like. So we on the same page.
No, but he does not feel that way.
He said, hey, if you feel like I'm not a good person in your life, then you need to stay like that and I'm gonna stand on that. And we gonna stand on it.
No.
Let's stand on it.
No.
We gonna stand on it.
No, he does not. He cannot say that.
What I said was, if you feel like I'm a bad person to you, then I'm
It's not about that right now. This is about you. How do you feel about him?
I never said I had a problem with him. No, this what he do. He say something crazy, and he be like, oh, I ain't got no ain't got no love. Khaotic always try to play a victim. He'll start some, then he want to be like, I don't want no beef, man. If you got an issue, stand on it. If not, sit down and shut up, bro.
At the end of the day, like I said, bro, it don't even really matter.
Cuz don't try to goddamn, he want everybody like, oh my God.
No, because we're so grown, we can really make an assessment of our own thoughts here.
I be watching cuz, I be like, oh.
Okay, so wait.
You know what your problem is?
I ain't got no problem, man.
You had a million times to do it.
It all started with a particularly heated argument with a Khaotic cast member known for his brash attitude and constant willingness to stir things up. Things quickly escalated when Khaotic and Scrappy found themselves at odds over a minor issue that spiraled out of control. Scrappy's career and family relationships had their ups and downs, but nothing could have prepared anyone for the day when his own behavior caused him to fall from grace. What began as a straightforward argument turned into a full-fledged confrontation as accusations were hurled and words were exchanged. The two men exchanged harsh words as the tension increased, but it was Scrappy's threats that went too far. His tone became dangerous, and his words carried a menacing weight that left no room for misinterpretation. Scrappy, who is known for having a short fuse, was pushed to his breaking point. One more defense of the cameras. The producers and staff on site were shocked to see that what they had seen was not your average reality TV drama. A line had been crossed, and Scrappy's actions in that fit of wrath would ultimately seal this fate. It was something far more serious. His threats of chaos were more than just empty words, signaling a sea change that would alter his course forever.
He the one who called me out my name, disrespecting me, talking gangster. I never talked gangster. I never threatened him. I don't play no victim. I just don't do all that fake gangster talking and all that there. You came at me talking gangster. First of all, if I say anything slick or say anything crazy out my mouth, I got the right to.
Things moved swiftly behind the cameras. While reality television thrived on chaos and drama, the Love and Hip Hop franchise had a zero-tolerance policy for threats and violence. There were always boundaries, and Scrappy's explosive outbursts had crossed them. The decision was made quickly by the authorities. One of the most identifiable characters on the program, Scrappy, lost his job. It wasn't an instant dismissal, but Scrappy had been a part of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta since the beginning, and the show had been crucial to his career. The platform had allowed him to showcase his music, his personal life, and his complex relationships with his family, but now all of that was at risk. Swift made the decision after carefully weighing the possible effects on the show's reputation, as well as the safety of the cast and crew. When the news broke, fans were split over a single moment of weakness. Some were upset with Scrappy for losing his temper and causing trouble, while others were disappointed by how swiftly the show had acted. This incident demonstrated the fine line reality stars walk between entertainment and personal consequences. For Scrappy, the firing was more than just the end of his television role. It was a harsh reminder of the cost of his anger, and in the days that followed, Scrappy remained silent and took some time to think about what he had done. His public persona had always been one of confidence and bravado, but behind the scenes, the weight of what had happened started to sink in. He had hurt himself, endangering his career in the process. Meanwhile, Khaotic was unaffected by the fallout and kept appearing on the show, but the luring. It was impossible to overlook the tension between him and Scrappy. The show continued without him, but for the first time in a long time, Scrappy was no longer the center of attention. The lesson was harsh but necessary. The rage that had once protected him was now a hindrance to his success. Losing his spot on Love and Hip Hop wasn't just a setback for his career, it was a wake-up call.